Hey everybody, it's your girl Keysha rolling up in the Players Club with my boy Duval. How you doing today, Duval? We gonna talk some Angel Reese drama, some Shaq drama. But before we do that, I want you guys to hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed to the Players Club, please subscribe to the Players Club. How you doing, Duval? How you feeling tonight?
It's another day, another situation.
It's always something going on. We're gonna get into it. And make sure y'all hit that like button and let us know in the comments how you feel about how our discussion go today. But we're gonna get into it real quick. I'm gonna play a little bit of some ladies. Let me pull us up and then bring up these ladies because they were talking today. They were talking about their thoughts on whether Angel Reese should try to get up out of Chicago. They had a little bit of in-depth discussion, and then Shaq saw this YouTuber's allegedly, y'all. Let me start there. Allegedly, he saw these YouTubers' content and reposted what they said. So hold on, let me bring up the ladies talking about it from what they could assume was. Oh, there we go. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna share this, and then I'm gonna play it, and then we're gonna get into it. All right, y'all can see that on there. Yeah, move out of my way. Okay, here we go.
Shaq, Shaquille O'Neal did share one of our posts.
Did we need to say that?
Well, I mean, it's part of the story.
How many people is Trista blocked by? That's the question. And the answer is we don't know because I can't see how many people have blocked me.
Do you want to tell the story?
About why Shaq blocked me?
No, about what Shaq shared on our page.
Well, we talked about all the bullshit and the long time malfeasance by the Chicago Sky. And the malfeasance has been since probably the inception of the team. And Shaq, for those who are fans of ours that are not deep into the weeds and the lore of the LSU sort of connection, mentorship, familial situation between Angel Reese and Shaq. Both went to LSU. Shaq has taken Angel under her wing. He is now the CEO and president of the Reebok shoe basketball division. I think that's probably said wrong, but you know, what's new? And so he is the one who got Angel Reese her signature shoe. And he reposted the video that I went down the line on all the bullshit that the Chicago Sky have been doing and how this is not really Angel Reese's fault. And then I had a message at the end of the video that said, Angel, get out, right? Leave. Get out, go. You know what time it is. What type of time the Chicago Sky on. And he posted that to his story. So if you were reading between the lines, you could maybe say that Shaq co-signed Angel Reese requesting a trade. If I was going to make a social clip out of that piece, that would be the text on screen. Shaq co-signs Angel Reese trade request? Question mark. Because that's how it seemed.
Yeah, and we don't know that Angel has made a trade request or is going to make a trade request, but I think it's pretty apparent to anyone with eyeballs that her time in Chicago is coming to a close.
Well, we
Hey guys, look. I'm gonna show you before we talk about it. I'm just gonna show you a screenshot of the short that Shaq allegedly reposted. Somebody sent this to me, reposted it, and then it says the Chicago Sky have been getting away with this messy poop for years. Hashtag free Angel. Duval, do you think Shaq, as the president or whatever, like she said in the thing, president of Reebok, helping mentoring Angel Reese, helping her get her signature shoe, all these things they have in the works. Do you think he wants her out of Chicago?
Absolutely. Um, and it's not because of the shoe market or anything like that. It's not because, oh, I want her to go to a bigger market, a bigger city, because Chicago is a big city itself.
Mm-hmm.
And additionally, this is not the 90s anymore. Like I said, you could be anywhere and still be a larger than life star because of social media and branding, which follows a person wherever they go. So it's not like that's the reason why he want her out of there. He want her out of there, in my opinion, because of two reasons. Two situations that Shaq is familiar with when it comes to his career. Favoritism and
Mm-hmm.
toxicity and dysfunction. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
favoritism and dysfunction. And let me explain the two to the audience. I'm gonna start with dysfunction first. Um, Shaq was in Orlando when he got drafted to Orlando. His former agent wanted him to be in LA from day one because back then the market size did matter.
Mm-hmm.
Shaq was okay with being in Orlando. Shaq had a good 4 years in Orlando. Had some success with Penny Hardaway. They went to the finals in 1995, and they came up short at the Eastern Conference Finals in 1996. Which, in that situation, they wanted to resign Shaq. I mean, the team. Shaq was okay with resigning there. I think Alonzo Mourning became the first $100 million man at that time. Either him or Jawan Howard, one of those two, but I think it's Alonzo Mourning. Shaq
Right.
also wanted $100 million, and the Orlando Magic balked at giving him $100 million, and partially because allegedly the radio station in Orlando did a poll and asked the fans, "Is Shaq worth $100 million?" And the poll overwhelmingly said no. And
Mm-hmm.
so, because of that, I think the team took heed to what the poll said and balked at giving Shaq his $100 million because that was the type of dysfunction Orlando Magic was at that time, led by
Mm-hmm.
Pat Williams among other people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, by the time Orlando Magic got wise to the situation, he was already ready to
Solid.
sign with LA before the 2000, for the 1996 Olympics. So that was the dysfunction part of Shaq's career. So
Mm-hmm.
that was Shaq's career to Angel Reese when it comes to Chicago Sky. The favoritism part of his career is, let's go to 2004. This is the Los Angeles Lakers. At this point, he gave the Lakers three titles. He became the Finals MVP all three times. In 2000 and 2001, he was probably the best player in not WNBA, in the NBA at that point.
Mm-hmm.
In 2004, he was kind of slowing some slippage, but he still had a few years total left in him. Despite all of that, despite what he brought to Los Angeles Lakers as far as not only playing wise, but celebrity status, marketability, and all that stuff, Dr. Jared Buss always took a liking to Kobe Bryant. Reason being was Kobe Bryant was younger. Kobe Bryant was more dedicated to his craft as far as staying in the gym and staying and not being much into the hoopla of being in LA. He was a dedicated basketball player with the mindset of wanting to be the best of all time, just like Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Jerry Buss seen all those qualities that Kobe had and took a liking to Kobe, not only to the point where he helped Kobe get provided a plane so he could deal with his personal situation in 2004. So if you want to know what that is, go look it up. I don't want to really touch it on here.
Mm-hmm.
But it was clear at the end that they was going to choose Kobe over, like I said, a three-time final MVP, Shaquille O'Neal, and a three-time coaching champion at that time, Phil Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, Shaquille O'Neal knew that they'll choose a Kobe over him, so he asked for a trade. He got traded to Miami for some parts. And then Phil Jackson stepped away. He came back later. But at the end of the day, at that time, Kobe won the power struggle between those three people because the owner had took favoritism towards Kobe and not towards Shaq and Phil, who was also instrumental into those championships because partially because, like I said, Kobe was younger. Kobe had more of a dedication to his craft and more of a tunnel vision when it comes to being the greatest and not into all the hoopla stuff that came with LA. So to sum everything up, what I'm saying is this. Because of those things, Shaq knows what Angel Reese is going through when it comes to the toxicity of the Chicago Sky. We already know the history and been relayed to everyone. If you haven't been sleeping on a rock, you know how Chicago Sky been operating since 2006 is their inception as a franchise. And the favoritism. It's clear that even though Angel Reese is the second most popular player in WNBA, third most popular woman in women's sports, the most popular Chicago Sky they ever had, made more money off of her than what I'm saying, did a fat kid love cake. But
Mhm.
despite all of that, they still wanted to give the franchise to Sloop because Sloop won a championship for them, even though Sloop was the third option on that team.
She was.
But Jeff P has an affinity for Sloop not only because of her role in that championship, but her role into the business that he does outside of Chicago Sky when it comes to his training facility. So between those two things, he want to get the franchise a Sloop. He accommodated Sloop when it came to trades and what her desires on the players that she wants to play with. And so Shaq is familiar with that type of situation. So yes, he want her to be traded because he know how the story going to end. So he might as well support her now, so she can find herself in a better situation. It Chicago Sky have different plans for her than what she deserves as a franchise player.
So basically, Duval,
Mhm.
you saying the big brother
Mhm.
and Shaq is saying, look, I done seen this movie before.
Mhm.
It don't usually end well.
Mhm.
You need to go and probably take control of your own destiny because that's basically what Shaq had to end up doing. Even though Orlando came to their senses late, he was by that time the damage was already done.
Mhm.
He was already out the door, and
Mhm.
and what he's saying is once you decide that I'm not your person,
Mhm.
if I'm not your person, the one you anointed, I'm not the anointed person for you. There's nothing I'm gonna be able to do to make myself be that person. I don't think Angel Reese could ever be that person for Jeff P.
Not at all. Like I said, going back to the Orlando situation,
Mm-hmm.
reason why there was dysfunction. Like I said, there's a lot more stuff to that. It was like the Penny Hardaway situation
True,
between
true.
him and Shaq, him and Shaq and Brian Hill. There was some like dysfunction and beef there. But
Mm-hmm.
the final straw was when the Orlando Magic did the poll on radio live. And I
Mm.
think it's from the news. Either they post the poll in the newspaper or he heard it. I forgot which one it is. You have to rewatch the 30 for 30.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But either way, once that poll came out and Orlando basically supported that poll and be like, nah, we can't give you 100 million. By the time they changed their mind, Jerry West, who was the general manager of the Lakers at the time, had already traded Lave Diva and I think Eldon Campbell to make room
For
for
sure.
Shaq to give him the money that he deserved at that time, which was a 7 year, $120 million deal.
Yep.
And so that's what you call dysfunction. Because if you listen to a fan poll to determine if you should pay somebody or not, in addition to him having beef with Brian Hill, who was the coach at the time, and him and Penny Hardaway had some, some friction at that time, that's dysfunction. He knows what that looks like. And same thing with the Lakers, but I think only difference with the Lakers is it was clear that Jerry Buss favored Kobe because he was younger and he was more dedicated to the craft. Cause like Shaq would tell you when he got injured, hey, I got injured on company time, I'm gonna heal on company time.
Mm-hmm.
So he would refuse. I think this was the 2003 or 4 season, but I believe the 2003 season when he injured his toe. And he injured it during like the playoff run that previous season. He refused to get surgery during the summer and got that surgery during the season of the next season because in his mind, hey, I got hurt on company time, I'm gonna heal on company time. That's not the dedication that Shaq had that Kobe would have had under the same circumstances.
I
So
got you.
at the end of the day, he knows what dysfunction is. He knows what dysfunction looks like. So yes, he's going to push her for her to go to a better organization, somebody that will prioritize her and prioritize her branding and everything she brings to the table, not only off the court but on the court.
I agree. And guess what, guys? This is all allegedly. I just took a
Mhm.
screenshot and it looked like it came from Shaq's Instagram, story. Them stories don't last but what, like 24 hours?
Mhm.
So I'm going to continue to say allegedly. But if I was Shaq, and like Duval was saying, if I was Shaq, and they're not prioritizing my girl the way I want her to be prioritized, I would probably give her the same advice. But hey, the saga is gonna keep continuing off season, Duval. We'll
Mhm.
be here for it. Y'all let us know how y'all feel in the comments. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Hit the like button. Look, hit the like button, comment, share, and subscribe. Anything else you want to say, Duval?
No, not this time. I hope that the audience educate themselves when it comes to this situation. Like I said, I might not have every information correct, but I got majority of it. So if
Mm-hmm.
that's the case, you know what I'm saying, do your own homework and put your own conclusion when it comes to what happened in Shaq's situation, how he relates to Angel Reese overall.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And he's supposed to be giving, he's been through it. He navigated this whole basketball stardom, selling yourself, branding. Shaq did it a whole lot in his career, Duvall. So if
Mhm.
anybody I should be listening to, if I was Angel Reese, I would probably listen to him. But hey, that's just me.
Speaking of that, Shaq probably was the first big man to really market himself
Yes,
as a star before anybody else in the history of the franchise. I mean, history of the NBA.
of the game. Yeah.
Yeah, because you had other big men, but like even like Bill Walton, he was well beloved because he was eccentric. He was more not say a weirdo, but more of a
Mm-hmm.
like a free spirit.
Mm-hmm.
But it was Shaq that became like the lovable, saying, hey, I'm for everybody type of guy. Saying,
And I'm
hey,
gonna do movies. I'm gonna do music. I'm gonna do. I'm a cross. I'm not just gonna be a basketball player.
and he started that in Orlando, and so it went from him to like somebody like Dwight Howard to somebody like Joel Embiid. So
Mm-hmm.
Shaq was the first to do that.
Yeah, he was.
He was the first self-made promoter when it comes to marketing himself in the NBA history when it comes to big man. And I think Angel Reese on her side is the first woman to do that. The
Mm-hmm.
self-made promotion of myself, being this shot town bar, being this bigger than life brand. Because I don't think nobody else before her ever marketed themselves that way. Maybe the '96 Dream Team they got marketed together, but not nobody individually in the way is
Yeah,
Angel Reese was. Angel Reese is currently. So she
I
set
agree.
the trend for that for people after her to really be their own boss, their own inspiration when it comes to marketing their sales and maximizing their branding. I'm done.
I agree wholeheartedly, Duval. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Hit that like button. We out of here, Duval.
Peace.